So if at any point in time during the cruise you have questions or need anything, let one of us know. We'll take care of it for you. But most importantly, sit back, relax, enjoy. So we left the Balboa Peninsula. That's the peninsula behind us. And we're crossing the main channel of the harbor right here. And we're coming up on Balboa Island. You can see Balboa Island in front of us right here. In fact, there's the Balboa Island ferry over there to the right. I'll talk more about the ferry when we come back down the harbor, but again, this is Balboa Island we're coming up to. Balboa Island sits in the middle of the harbor. It takes up the whole lower half of the harbor. And it's our largest island in the harbor, but really it's the largest because it's made up of 3 different islands. Over to the right, well beyond where we can see is Little Balboa Island. We're not going to see that island this cruise. Then this is the main part of Balboa Island right here, and in just a moment we'll get up to the very top of the island and see a last little sliver of the island. Now there's actually a beach along Balboa Island. It's really high tide right now, so the beach is a little bit narrow, but if you look over there to the right, you can see a beach. It's actually a public beach here on the island. You can come over, spend the day on the beach. And there's beach on the back side of the island. To the right, there's a street right here, 100 yards down. It's the other side of the island. There's beach back there. But the beach actually disappears after the dock off to the right here. And with the beach gone, you can actually see the seawall that surrounds the island. That seawall goes completely around the island. There's even seawall where there's beach and more to the beach. The seawall is a really important part of this island. In fact, it's a necessary part of the island because you see the harbor we're in, plus most of our islands, this is man-made. It's not a natural harbor. These aren't natural islands. Where we are right now, this is once the marshy end of the Santa Ana River. It started out as a swamp until early developers came in and envisioned a harbor like we have today, and they dredged it out, making the harbor as we know it today, making most of our islands. There's 8 islands in the harbor, and 7 of the 8 islands are man-made. So Balboa Island to the right here, it's the first island built. When they built it initially, they didn't build it tall enough. It used to flood all the time. Look at the cars over there on the street. You see how we're above roof level of those cars? Gives you an idea of where the street level is right now with the high tide. So the island used to flood all the time. They actually had to bring in the Army Corps of Engineers. The Army Corps built that seawall that surrounds the island, keeps it dry. If you look at the top of the seawall, you can see a darker gray band of concrete. That's a new 9-inch cap that was added to the seawall. Over the years, the island has settled. It actually started flooding again more frequently in recent years. So a year and a half ago, they came in and added that little bit of extra height to the seawall. Oh, and look, over to the right, there she is, Lady Liberty. Check it out. You can walk around Balboa Island, and if you set up that selfie just perfectly, you can tell your friends you're in New York. So I said there's 3 parts to Balboa Island. Well, it's a little bit hard to see, but if you look into the corner here to the right, if you look directly to the right over there where that gentleman's standing on the dock, there's actually a bridge right there. You can see the gray railing. Now, with the tide so high, there's almost no clearance under the bridge. You have to be swimming and almost hold your breath to swim under the bridge. But that bridge, it separates the main part of Balboa Island on the right over there. This little sliver coming up now on the right. This sliver of an island right here, this is part of Balboa Island. And this is the smallest individual island in the harbor. But again, part of Balboa Island. It's got its own name though. It's called Collins Island. It was named for William Collins, who was one of the early developers of the area, also one of the first mayors of Newport Beach. Now, you remember I said this is a man-made harbor. Well, William Collins actually ran one of the dredges and helped build the harbor. So in the course of building the harbor, he decided to build himself this island. Actually built a castle for himself here, lived alone in his castle on his island for a number of years, until he lost the island to actor James Cagney in a poker game. James Cagney moved into William Collins' castle. He renamed the island Cagney Island during World War II. He let the Coast Guard use the island. They used it as a base. Then after the war, it was given back to the city and renamed Collins Island. Today there's 8 homes on the island. The end home directly to our right now is once owned by actor Peter Falk. Some of you might remember him as Lieutenant Columbo on TV. And now to the right of us, this is another one of our islands. This one is Harbor Island. We've got a great home to the right at the end of the island right here. This was once owned by the actor Charles Bronson. And that's a working lighthouse you see in the middle of the home. That was an old lighthouse that was found abandoned on a beach in Maine. Somebody bought it, disassembled it, shipped it out here, built it into this home. And then next door, this Mediterranean style home right here. This home belongs to the wealthiest individual in Orange County. He's even one of the wealthiest men in America. That's Donald Brent. He's the chairman and owner of the Irvine Company. Now, Mr. Brent's worth about $17 billion, so it's no surprise that he was named Newport Beach's most eligible bachelor a couple years ago. But ladies, don't get any ideas and don't jump off the ship just yet. Y'all missed your chance. Mr. Brent did get remarried. It's his third marriage. He got remarried at the tender young age of 80, and the new Mrs. Brent, she'll be 80 herself in about 45 years. Definitely a win-win for the both of them, right? And then two doors down, another beautiful Mediterranean style home right here. This one belongs to the Argyros family. George Argyros, successful real estate investor, developer, co-founder of an airline called Air California. That airline was bought up by American Airlines. In the early 2000s, he was America's ambassador to Spain. Now, the home you're looking at right there, that's been considered one of the most expensive homes in the harbor, appraised at over $40 million, except the, I should say, however, the title of most expensive home, that's been up for grabs recently. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. And at $40 million for the home's not crazy enough. Look next door to the left here where there's this garden and fountain. The Argyros actually had a neighbor's home that sat right there until a year or so ago. They bought their neighbor's home though and tore it down just so Mr. Argyros could build his wife that garden and fountain she always wanted. So their home went from a $40+ million home to now well in excess of the $50 million home with the new addition. And new construction coming up on this lot on the right. This lot that you're looking at, that's a double wide lot. It had a really nice home on it a few years ago. That was up until a speculative real estate guy came in. He bought up the old home that stood here, bulldozed the home that used to be here. They turned around and put the lot back on the market for more than they paid for the home. Actually achieved his goal a couple of summers ago, making a profit here. He sold the lot, just the dirt, for nearly $20 million. Down here at the end of the island, there's a couple more beautiful homes. This modern home on the near corner right here, this is built for a guy named Johnny Green. Great American success story. He started out with nothing. He built up a company called Fleetwood Enterprises. They became the largest manufactured home builder in the world. You might remember some of the products if you remember Fleetwood and Bowder Motorhomes. And then on the other corner here, there's a place that almost looks like a hotel. Well, that kind of makes sense. Some right here at one point in time belonged to one of the largest shareholders in the Radisson hotel chain. And the home's built like a hotel. It's got 6 bedrooms in it, but some of the bedrooms are over 1,000 square feet. 12 bathrooms, underground parking for over 10 cars, the 1,000-bottle wine cellar, and that's all Italian marble inside now. Now, you remember the Argyros' $40, now $50 million home. Well, this home right here could have been yours if you wanted it. It was on the market last year. It was listed at $60 million. We're waiting for somebody to come in and write that check. It never happened, though. It actually sold at a pretty big discount. Sold for about $38 million, so yeah, you got an extra $38 million laying around. That place could have been yours. And now, coming up, another one of our islands. This one's Linda Isle. It's named for Linda Irvine. She was a great-granddaughter of James Irvine, patriarch of the Irvine family. Before it was Linda Isle, it was called Shark Island. There was a sandbar out here in the harbor. In fact, in the Shark Island days, it was used the filming location for one of John Wayne's World War II movies, The Sands of Iwo Jima. Now, it's Linda Isle. It's a horseshoe-shaped island. They shaped it like a horseshoe to maximize the water frontage. So about 110 homes on the island. Everyone, the homes sit on the water. There's no inner lots. And as I said, it was shaped like a horseshoe. In the Linda Isle form, it's one of our man-made islands. Again, we got 8 islands in the harbor, 7 are man-made. Now there is a gorgeous and very unusual sight over here to the right. Look at this wooden boat right there. It's called the Forger. That boat, I can count the number of times it's been uncovered. It's usually completely covered. That's all wood. In fact, the last time this boat was uncovered was about 3 years ago. They were refinishing the boat. It took them about 6 months to put the varnish on it. About that time, they had a windstorm, almost like today. Actually, ended up depositing sand all over the boat, so they sanded it out, spent another 6 months on it, finished it up, and then covered it. So this is, I think, the first time it's been uncovered in 3 years. Pretty spectacular boat right there. By the way, like I said, the name is Forger. The kind of ironic, the owner of the boat, he owns a steel mill. Forger being as in steel forging. I guess he doesn't believe in steel hulled boats. Only wood for him. You like that, Anthony? No. Oh. Another beautiful wooden boat right there. So out in front of us, that's the Pacific Coast Highway Bridge. Beyond the bridge is the back bay of the harbor, and the back bay stretches back quite a ways. It goes almost to the Orange County Airport. Deep in the back bay is a protected wetlands area. A lot of birds, migratory birds, winter back there. Also some nice biking, hiking, and kayaking. And then close to the bridge here is a small boat marina and an on-the-water RV resort. Now this is the Bay Shores neighborhood coming up on the right.